introduce yourself a little further, and we'll jump into the presentation.
Thank you so much, Ashley, for having me, and good job on the pronunciation of my name. That
Thank
was
you.
awesome on the first time. So I'm the new guy as well because I recently joined Zone Agtech, so it's been a couple of months. I'm sorry in advance if I don't have like all the answers maybe to all of your question. I'm gonna try and do my best. I'm the director of acceleration programs at Zone Agtech here in Quebec, and I'm really happy for the opportunity to present to you the zone. Thank you. Are you going to share the part you
Um,
want me to do it?
if you want to share your, that way you can control your own slides if
Yes,
that's easier, or
that's
I can share as
perfect.
well.
No, no, I will do
Okay,
it.
perfect.
It just, I'm used to Teams, so Zoom is always a challenge. Is it okay? Do you see the screen?
Nothing
Not
yet.
yet. Okay, hold on. Partager écran de. Okay.
Oh, I think something's coming up.
Right?
Here we
Okay,
go. Yeah,
awesome.
perfect. We can see it. I think you'll just have to make it
Ouais,
full
voilà.
screen, and then you should be good to go.
All right. So thank you guys. I'm really happy to be here this morning. I think there are a lot of natural links between what you're doing in Ontario around the agrobotic automation and digital agriculture and what we're building at Zone Agtech. So I'm going to try and give you an overview of the zone. And I wanted to keep it practical. So I will tell you about who we are, what do we do, how we support agtech and bioproduct companies, and how we try to bring innovation closer to real needs in agriculture. I will also present a few of our main programs, Axis, Nexter, Continuum Agtech, and Go Global Quebec. I'm sorry, the allergies are killing me this morning. And because this is the AgRobotics Working Group, I will try and make the connection with robotics, automation, growers, and technology adoption in the field. So what is Zone Agtech? Basically, we are Canada's largest agtech and plant-based bioproduct innovation cluster. We are based in L'Assomption, which is about between 30 minutes and 3 hours from Montreal, depending on traffic. Our role is really to bring together startups, companies, producers, researchers, investors, public partners, and industry organizations around agricultural innovation. If I say it more simply, Zone Agtech exists to make innovation more concrete because there are a lot of good ideas in agriculture. You all know that. There is strong research in Canada. We have startup with promising technologies, producers with very real challenges, and partners who want to support innovation. But the connection between all of these people does not always happen naturally. A startup may have a good technology, but no access to producers. A producer may have a very clear and real problem, but not know which solution to trust. So as Zone Agtech, we're here really to connect the dots. So we are an ecosystem builder. We also are an accelerator, and we are developing a physical place where a company can grow, collaborate, test, and scale. And why this matter now? You all know that there's nothing new here. Agriculture is changing very quickly. Producers are dealing with labor shortage, costs are increasing, climate change, of course, is creating more uncertainty. So at the same time, agriculture needs to become more sustainable, more efficient, and more competitive. So innovation is not a nice to have anymore. It's really a must have. It's becoming essential. But innovation in agriculture has to be useful. A technology can be very impressive, but if it does not solve a real problem, if it's too expensive, too complex, or too hard to integrate into operation, it will not be adopted. And I have a ton of startups that come up to me and say, look, I have this amazing tech, I developed this and it's gonna solve the world's problem and it's amazing and stuff. Okay, who is it for? And they just will say, well, I don't know. We'll have to find out. But I said, no, what's the need? What solution are you solving? What problem are you solving? And sometimes they just don't know, but they have this amazing tech and we are supposed to find them a solution. So the key for us is the technology innovative, but also does it solve a real problem for producer or agri businesses? Can it work in real condition? Because there is a difference between a tech you developed in the basement of your mother's or in a lab and the field. So the company really has to know if it works in real conditions. Can it support it after the sale? Can the producer see the value? And is the business case strong enough? So this is exactly where Zone Agtech tries to be useful. We have companies move from a good idea, a good tech, to something that can be validated, tested, demonstrated, and eventually adopted by the market. So we have two main focuses at Zone Agtech. Of course, Agtech, it's in the name, and that includes robotics, automation, artificial intelligence, sensors, energy efficiency, control, environment, agriculture, just to name a few. And the second one is plant-based bioproduct, and that includes biostimulants, natural ingredients, plant-based products, and any other innovation that create value from plants or agriculture biomass. So for us, these two areas are connected. Agtech help us produce better, and bioproduct help us create more value from what we produce. And both are important if you want agriculture to become more productive, more sustainable, and of course, more resilient. So you're gonna ask me, what do you do concretely? So what do we actually do? We support companies at different stage. Some companies are early stage, so they have a concept or a technology, but they still need to validate the market. Some have a prototype, so they need feedback from producers, experts, or industry partners. And some are ready for a demonstration. So they need a site, a partner, funding, and a clear project structure. And at the end of it, some are already selling. So they need support to scale up, enter a new market, or build strategic partnership. So our support changes depending on the company. Sometimes we work on the value proposition, sometimes on the business model, the market validation. Personally, I do training for a pitch. So if they have a pitch in front of investors or a pitch competition. We help them as well find the right partners, demonstration planning. This is a huge one, especially now in summer. We're full in the demo planning, funding opportunities, or international expansion. But the logic is always the same. Where is the company today? What is blocking them? And what is the next credible step? And do we need to bring around the table to help them move forward? Who do we need? So this is really our work. And why? And one thing we insist on a lot is validation. Because in Agtech, you cannot build everything in an office or again in your mother's basement. You really need to talk to a producer. You need to go in the field, understand the operations, understand the seasonality, the cost. And sometimes the feedback, it's not what the company expected. Sometimes the price is too high, the timing is wrong, the technology, it's interesting, but too complex. Or the producer likes the idea, but will not use it in that format. And that is okay, actually, because this is exactly why validation matters. It is much better to hear this early than after years of development and money put in the project. So that's what we do. It's not easy for us. We have to push companies. We have to challenge them to validate early, not only technical validation, but market validation too. Who is the customer? What problem are we solving? What proof do they need before buying? Who influence the decision? So these questions are not always easy, but they are essential. And this is especially relevant for robotics because, well, agriculture robotics, it's very exciting. It's new, it's gadget. We love that. There's a lot of potential, but it's also very challenging because agriculture is not a clean, controlled laboratory. There's dust and humidity and different crops and labor pressure. So a robot does not only need to work once during a nice demo, it needs to work when the producer actually needs it. And producer will ask this very practical question, how reliable it is, how much maintenance that is it need, because I visited a lot of farms and they're huge warehouses with a tons of gadgets, drones and mini robots and stuff, and they only used it once because they didn't know how to maintain them, or there's an update on the software they didn't know how to do. So it just like parked in a warehouse waiting for collecting dust, really. So the producer needs to be reassured about that. How much training does my team need? How long before I recover my investment? This one is a big one, of course. Can it fit into my existing operation? Like, do I have to change everything in the farm? So these are normal questions the producer will ask. So when we support robotics or automation companies, we help them prepare for that reality. So not just with a better pitch, but with a stronger demonstration plan, a clearer value proposition, and a better understanding of the producer reality. Another important part, sorry, I'm gonna have a sip of water. Another important part of Zone Agtech is our physical ecosystem. We are developing an innovation complex in L'Assomption. It's set to open in January 2027. And the idea is to create a place where companies can be closer to the Agtech system. So it's a place where startup, partner, researcher, industry player, they can meet, work, collaborate, and create projects more easily. For us, this innovation complex is not just a building, it's a tool. It creates proximity, and proximity matters a lot in innovation. So when people are close to each other, conversation happen, introduction as well, problems are identified earlier, and projects become more concrete. So the complex gives company a stronger anchor point in Quebec's Agtech ecosystem. It supports our bigger vision, which is to make Zone Agtech a real hub for Agtech and plant-based bioproduct innovation in Canada. And we have also awesome fully equipped lab. So if you have like startups who wants to come to L'Assomption, it's a very nice place. I will talk now about our main programs. I know I have 30 minutes, so I'm going to try and fit everything in it. I will focus on this main four. So Axis, Nexter, Continuum Agtech, and Go Global. They are very different programs, but they all have the same goal: to help innovation move closer to real needs, real validation, and real market adoption. I know I cannot emphasize that enough. Adoption for us is demonstration is really, really important, and validation as well. So Axis, I will start with that, is one of our acceleration programs. And what is important to understand is that it starts from the field. We do not start by saying, here are some startups, let's see where they could fit. We do the opposite. We start with a specific agriculture sector. For example, apples, potatoes, strawberries, and raspberries, or greenhouses. And the first step is to identify the real challenge of that sector. What are producers struggling with? Where are the operational pain points? Where is labor missing? Where are costs increasing? Where is productivity blocked? So we work with producers and sector organization first. We listen. We identify priority challenges, and only after that, we look for startup and technologies that could respond to those challenges. So this is really the strength of Axis. It's demand-driven. It's not technology looking for a problem. It is a real problem looking for the right technology. Once the challenges are identified, we select companies that have solutions that could help address them. Then we support this company through coaching, strategic support, market validation, and connection with the sector. We help them understand the producer's reality. We help them adapt their message. We help them prepare for meeting with potential users. And when it makes sense, we help them move toward a demonstration or a first adoption. And we are in this stage right now this summer with the current cohort of Axis. So this approach is very relevant for robotics because a robot for greenhouses does not respond to the same reality as a robot for potato, apples, strawberries, or raspberry. The crop is different, the environment is different, and the equipment is different. So Axis help create a better match between real producer challenges and startup that can bring useful solution. So for me, that is the most important point. We start from the needs, then we bring the innovation. The second program is Nexter and is one of our major new this year. We just launched it at the end of May, and the application process is rolling as we speak. So it focuses on clean technology for agriculture. It is supported by ACC, and we are leading this program in collaboration with the Cycle Momentum, which is another clean tech incubator, and Ecotech Quebec, which is a cluster in clean tech as well. So the goal is to support companies that can help make agriculture cleaner, more efficient, and more sustainable. We have two main phases. The first phase is acceleration. So during this phase, companies will receive support to prepare their project. So we work with them on their business case, their market strategy, impact, the demonstration plan, and the capacity to execute. The second phase is demo. So selected companies, they can receive a grant to demonstrate their solution in a real environment. And that part is very important because many agtech and clean tech companies are in that difficult middle stage. They have a promising technology, they have interest from the market, but they still need proof. They need to show that the solution works outside the lab. They need to show that it creates value for producer and really show environmental impact, but also business impact. Because for adoption, both are needed. So technology can be very sustainable, but if it does not make operational or financial sense for the producer, adoption will be difficult. So really Nexter helps company bridge that gap between promising solution and real world validation. Regarding robotics and automation companies, Nexter can be relevant when the solution contributes to a cleaner agriculture. For example, if the solution helps reduce input, reduce waste, optimize water, improve energy efficiency, reduce emissions, improve precision, or make operation more efficient. So Nexter is really about helping clean agtech solution move toward demonstration and adoption. I will move now to Continuum Agtech, which is the third one. And the idea here is not only to accelerate existing startup. The idea is really to help companies or industry organizations solve a specific challenge by mobilizing university entrepreneurship and research-based innovation. So the program is made for companies or organizations that have a technological, operational, or strategic challenge to solve. So they may have a problem, but not the internal team or resources to develop a solution from scratch. So with the Continuum Agtech, they can launch one or two challenges. These challenges are then promoted to attract ideas and solutions from the university and research ecosystem. So the objective is to identify credible solutions, compare them, and then select the most relevant one to the company. Typically, for each challenge, the goal is to identify between 2 and 6 possible solutions. Then the selected solution receives structures, support to move forward. The support can include intellectual property, funding strategy, business model, and transfer to market. What I find interesting in this program is that the company that launches the challenge is not just a passive observer. It can help orient the development of the solution according to its need. So the solution is being developed with a real market need in mind from the beginning. This helps, of course, reduce the risk and reduce the population and really increase the data solution will be relevant event ready to commercialize.
I think your mic just cut,
so the program
cut out for a couple minutes. If you just want to repeat what you just said about 30 seconds ago, it just was silent for a little bit.
Yes. Where I was talking about the solution being developed in a real market need in mind from the beginning. And that what that do is that it reduces the risk, the cost of early innovation, and it increases the chance that the solution will be relevant and will be ready to launch and to go to market. We also support entrepreneurial, this one is hard to say, talent from universities and research. So it is not only about solving one problem, it is also about creating a new entrepreneurial project around the solution. In some cases, the company or organization that launched the challenge can position itself as a first adopter, which we would like to happen in the first place. And if we want to go further, we can also become a development partner or even an investor in the company that is created. So the logic is very interesting. A company brings a real challenge, the university and research ecosystem bring ideas and talent, and we, the Zone Agtech, we structure the call for solutions and support the selected team. And the goal, of course, is to move from a problem to a concrete entrepreneurial project. This program is built over 12 months. So there is a first phase to select the challenges, which we are doing right now. Then the challenges are promoted. Then the solution is selected. And finally, the project is planned with the selected team. After that, there is support for the co-development of the solution. And finally, the project and the partnership are showcased. So the full value of the support is estimated to $16,000 per challenge. But because we have public funding, the contribution for the challenge owner is reduced to $5,000. So for the companies, it is a way to access innovation talent and structure support at a much lower cost than developing everything internally or hiring super expensive resources. For this group, I think the link with robotic is clear. A grower group, a company, or an industry organization could have a very specific robotics or automation challenge. So yeah, instead of waiting for the perfect startup to already exist, well, Continuum Agtech can help create or shape a solution around that challenge. And that is the value of this program. It starts from, again, a need and helps build an entrepreneurial solution around it. And so I will be moving on to the last program I'm presenting today, which is Go Global, in collaboration with the SVG Thrive. This program, so it's SVG Venture Thrive. This goal is to support Quebec Agtech companies that are preparing for international expansion. So this is the fun part, when we finally get to go outside of Quebec. So once a company has validation in Quebec or in Canada, the next question is often, what market should we enter next? How do we position ourselves? Who are the right partners? What are the barriers? And what does the customer need in that market? So a company cannot just copy and paste the same strategy everywhere. It's not the same environment, not the same climate. So obviously we're going to have to adapt. The production system may be different. Regulations as well are different. So the level, so for robotics company, this is especially true. A robot often needs technical support. It needs services, demonstration sites, local partners. So Thrive and Go Global, we really help companies prepare their market entry strategy in a more structured way. It connects them with international expertise, coaching, and a broader Agtech network. So the goal is not just to help companies go abroad, it's to help them scale in a smarter way. So how all these programs work together? Well, with a lot of work from my team, obviously. So when we look at this program together, we can see that they respond to really different needs. Axis start from producer challenges in a specific sector and bring startup to respond to those challenges. Nexter supports clean technology and help companies move toward real-world demonstration. Continuum Agtech allow companies or organizations to launch specific challenges and mobilize university entrepreneurship around solution. And finally, Go Global supports companies that are ready to think about international markets. So really from the time you're students to the time you want to go outside of Canada, we have a solution for you. We are here to help you at every stage of your development. So they are not all doing the same thing. They cover different moments, different needs in the innovation journey. And that is important because Agtech companies do not all need the same support. Some need access to a sector, some need funding for demos, some need research or university-based solution. So our role is really to understand where the company is and what support makes sense. What do we look for companies when we scout? We obviously look at the technology, of course, but the tech is only one part of the story. We also look at the team. Can they execute? Do they understand the market? Are they open to feedback? Are they committed to being in an accelerator because it's a commitment. So we look at the problem, is this solving a real issue? We look at impact, and most importantly, we look at the connection with real needs in agriculture, because this is what makes the difference between a nice tech and a solution that can be adopted. That's why demonstration is a key step for us. It's one of the most important steps, really. And I think this connects directly with AgRobotics, because a demo should not only be a showcase. It should answer a real question. Can the technology work in a real or realistic environment? Can it create measurable value? Can it fit into existing operation? So for robotics, this is critical. People need to see the robot operating in conditions that look like their own reality, not only in a perfect environment. That means a good robotic. Okay. That means a good robotic demonstration needs clear objectives, clear indicator, a clear site, a timeline. Otherwise, the demo can be interesting, but not very useful. So what growers can take away from that, I think the main message here is this: your role in innovation is essential. Startup need your feedback, which is really hard to get because they're really busy, especially in the summers. We know that it's hard to mobilize them these days, but they need to understand your real problems, your constraint, your way of working, and your decision-making process. I forgot to. They also need to understand what will make a solution adaptable for you. So in AgTech, producers are much more, for us, they are really part of the innovation process. Their feedback can completely change the direction of a technology, and I really wish we could reach out easier to them and have them like be really part of our day-to-day process. That would make things much easier for us. So one of the things we try to do at Zone Agtech is create this better conversation between technology companies and producer, because that is where better solutions are built. What industry partners you can take from that, this is a big opportunity. Agtech innovation is moving very quickly, but no single organization can do everything alone. So startup need access, researcher need real world project. And this is where we really can have a really good impact. For the future, where we see AgTech going, I think when we look at the market, we see a few strong directions. The first one, of course, you all know that, is automation. This will continue to be a major topic because of labor shortages and productivity needs. And the second one, of course, is also data. There's more and more data in agriculture, but the challenge is turning data into useful decision. And the third one, which is huge for us, is control environment agriculture. This is a very important chunk of our intervention these days. Greenhouses, indoor farming, and vertical farming create many opportunities for robotics, sensors, climate control, energy system. And finally, the fourth one would be clean technology. So solutions that can reduce input, energy, water, emission, or waste will become more important. It's 9:30. I think my time is up. So if I have like a final message, I will conclude and say that Zone Agtech is here to help AgTech and bioproduct companies move from idea to validation, and from validation to market. But more importantly, we try to keep innovation connected to real need. This is the common thread. So thank you very much. If you have questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will research and get back to you, of course. I'm going to stop sharing. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you. We'll open it up to questions next. Does anybody have any questions for Soulaf?
It's fine if you don't. You can just write me.
I see David's coming off mute.
Yes.
What's the minimum requirement to become a member as a startup? Because most of our members are based in Ontario and other provinces. So,
well, if you want to be a member of Zone Agtech as a startup, you need to be no, that's not true. actually, you need to be based in Quebec, but we are changing that. It's not launched yet, but we are launching really soon a membership for outside Quebec. So it's coming soon. I don't think I'm supposed to be talking about it, but I'm telling you anyway, it stays here. But because we have so much request from outside of Quebec and outside of Canada, we are working now on an outside Quebec membership. But for now, you need to have at least a will to implement your company in Quebec, in the zone. So that would be the first requirement, but this will change really soon. Stay tuned. I can share with you the info when I have it.
And can any company submit a challenge that they want solved, or does it have to be a Quebec? Because one of your focus groups is to here's a challenge, we're looking for a solution.
Yeah.
Can any company
Yes.
submit a challenge from across Canada?
Yes, they can.
And
yes.
can any university help try to solve it?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Perfect. We do have a couple questions in the chat as well. Somebody asked if you can just drop your contact information in it. Richard, I think, wants to reach out to you after the call as well. And then somebody else also asked, can you tell us how your new facility is being funded?
That's a very good question, which I might not have the answer to all of it, but I'm pretty sure it's funded by everyone and can fund something in Canada. We have it. So basically, I think it's provincial. Well, there's the city of L'Assomption, but also provincial. I think there's probably some federal montage in here. I don't have exactly all the answers, but I could find out. But I think it's public information. We can try and find it. I could get back to you with that.
Okay, perfect. And then another question in the chat, or more of a comment, I think. Huang is a scientist from McGill, looking to collaborate with growers and technology developers. They have a research farm with multiple crops, grain, vegetables, and fruit. So I don't know if you want to come off mute to kind of expand on that, of what you're specifically looking for.
But I already like it. I don't know what's the question, but I like it already. Where do you do demo and how do you incent separatists to be involved? That's a very good question. We do demo wherever we can. So we try to do it around L'Assomption, of course, because it's in the Zone Agtech, but we can do it absolutely anywhere inside Quebec. And how do you insensitize? That's a good question. If you have a solution for me, I'll be willing to take it, because it's really hard. They want to participate, but they don't have time. They don't have resources. So it's kind of a challenge for us these days to mobilize them and to make them commit to making demo. It's not an easy thing. So I don't have like the perfect. I wish I had a solution. If you have one, please share with me. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty common theme in the industry, is getting growers the time and incentivizing them to come out to the demo days as well. We know they want to see the technology, but how do we free up their time to get there as well?
Yeah.
So I also don't have the answer to that.
No, and they don't have much patience, because they don't understand that the principle of a demo is to demonstrate. But I don't know, maybe it's to manage their expectation, because when we get to demo, I don't know, I feel like they're waiting for it to work like this right now. But we need the time to calibrate and adapt and validate. And sometimes they lack patience, because I know the season is so short and they don't have time, so they need it to be like operational right now. But often they will say, well, go back to your lab and try to make it work and then come. But no, I need this step is crucial for it to be operational next year. So yeah, it's a hardship for all of us.
Yeah.
I'd like to explore on-campus demonstration, so grower don't have to take the risk. Oh, I like that. Can we maybe talk more on that? I will drop my my info.
Perfect.
That would be
and then you two can connect offline as well. For the technology that you test, is it any technology readiness level, or is there a minimum requirement?
It depends on the program. For example, for Nexter, it's TRL it's 7 to 9. Other, it's really from the incubation stage. So the idea, it depends on the program and the orientation of the program.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Soulaf?
All good. Well, thank you so much. It was my first time presenting Zone Agtech and in English. So thank you for bearing with me.
No, thank you so much for joining us and giving us an update on that. Um, we love to hear what other organizations are doing because there is a lot of synergies and similarities across the country. So again, thank you for coming to our meeting. Next, we will move on to the next part of our agenda, which is talking about recent events, field demos, and conferences. So there's a couple new ones you would have seen on the agenda today. There's the Catalyst Innovation Showcase. I don't know if Luana is on the call today. I don't see her. Um, the LRIC Annual Symposium in Central Wellington as well. And then I think that's the last new one on the list there. Has anybody gone to any demos recently? I know there was one recently, I think outside of Tilsonburg, showcasing the Verdant. Does anybody who was there want to share some thoughts on it that you kind of observed?
I don't know if Chaco is online. He wants to
I don't
share.
think I didn't see him online
No one
earlier.
from Harvard. Okay, well
Yeah.
then I will talk about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chuck's not on. I wasn't there, so I'll let you talk, Caesar.
you missed it, Jeff. It was
Yeah, I
so
did.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Well, first, we had a great grower participation, which we're just talking about how to get them interested. And I think there's a lot of interest in this technology. So we weren't sure of people interested in it, and I'd say 90% growers in there. Um, they they made the time to go see this machine because everyone is interested in optical sprayers, and I think that speaks about why we don't get enough participation is because maybe they don't see a direct application of the technology, but in this case they do, so they were there, and also it's a big investment, so the more the chances they get to to assess the technology before they decide if they want to spend $400,000 in it, the better. But in general, I say the demo was excellent. There were a lot of surprises, and we'll be sharing some more detail, more information about it. We have some very good images. Um, it wasn't 100% what we expected. There were some surprises, but that's the whole point of the demo. I think it was part trial, part demo, um, and the growers really got to see firsthand what the machine is capable. And Jason DeVoe, our application specialist, came out with a very good method to assess um, the spray, how this machine sprays and detects weeds, which was putting some UV pigment inside the solution being sprayed. We didn't put any sort of chemicals, obviously, because we were right behind the machine. But the UV dyes were really popped up when we used the UV flashlight. So it was very clear exactly where every single droplet went, and it wasn't like we expected. We had more drift. Um, but yeah, that was part of the experience. At the same time, we're doing some trials, a little research, and on the other hand, like so far, I'm seeing excellent result. The machine is working really well, even at very high seeding densities, and we'll be publishing all that later. We have some very good images that show both the drift and how good the weed control is. So stay tuned. I think later this year probably we'll have a lot to share about this.
Okay, perfect. I'll connect with you maybe offline of maybe doing like a little bit of an update later on the season once you have that to this call as well, because I think this group would be interested in hearing more details about it.
Yeah, we can invite Jason DeVos as well, and
Yeah.
we can do a short presentation if you're
Okay,
interested.
perfect. I'll shoot you an email later on today about that. Okay. That sounds great. Yeah, the pictures I saw that Haggerty posted looked really interesting, how they use the UV dye to show that. Are there any other events that people have been to recently that they want to kind of share their experience? Kate, I see that you put a comment in about you participated in grade 5 Ag Education Day this week at the Fergus Ag Society. So that's great to engage students, especially younger students. They talked about data ownership, scouting fields with drone technology, picking out spray drones, different types of AgRobotics, and existing farm equipment via workshop. It was a great bunch of kids and great participation. Did you want to talk about kind of how the kids reacted to it? Because I'm always interested to hear about that.
Sure. So we did talk about AI and try to understand what their knowledge is of AI and the different branches of it. So it's interesting. A lot of them knew about LLMs and chat GPTs and those forms. A lot of them mentioned Grok, which is Elon Musk's one, which is interesting. A few scary ones came up, like character AI. So, if these children are engaging with character AI, like we hope that there's an adult participation. And there are a bunch of Catholic students there that knew about an app where you could talk either to Satan or Jesus, and speaking to Jesus was cheaper than speaking the devil was cheaper than speaking to Jesus. So these children are experimenting with AI, and we do have to, watch how they're interacting with it for sure. But they seem to be a very limited understanding or knowledge of computer vision as a branch of AI. So really exposing them to what computer vision is and AgRobotics early on might be really interesting as they want to explore mechatronics or AI as they're growing up. But they're a really great bunch of kids, and we talked about existing ag equipment and the various technologies like lasers technologies and things we're seeing from demo days here in Ontario. And great, as I said, great participation from Wellington County and lots of former Aggies I went to school with I got to see. So that was great. Thanks.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for sharing. That sounds like a great event there. Okay, I think that's it for the events. Garson, I saw that you launched your Clean AgTech Validation and Integration Program. Do you want to share a little bit about that? Because I don't think we've talked about that yet.
Sure thing. Thanks, Ashley. So this is supported by the Agriculture Agri-Food Canada's Agricultural Clean Tech Program. So very similar to the program that Zone Agtech just presented as well. So this program is designed for technologies at the TRL 7 to 9 level, with and moving through those higher TRL levels with a validation and demonstration aspect in mind. And so the opportunity is available to any sector of agriculture anywhere in Canada. Um, and projects should have some quantifiable or measurable portion of it, whether that is highly detailed and getting right into the weeds, or whether if it's in a newer area where there isn't much done in terms of environmental sustainability. It can be very much ground truthing or baselining to get those initial bits of data, initial bits of knowledge.
Perfect.
And so the first intake for that is June 18th.
Okay. Oh, that's coming up very fast.
Yes, but
So
it's
if
a short
anybody,
form. As our first stage is a short form for anyone who's applied to our programs before.
okay.
If there are any questions, please reach out to me, and I'll drop my contact in the chat again.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so if anybody's interested in learning more about that or think you might be a fit, reach out to Garson directly on that. He just dropped his email there. So that's great. Mark, you have a little bit of an update on the Great Lakes Tex Flex, and it sounds like it's going pretty well. He says he has 15 companies, including a couple Canadian companies, committed to demo. So if you don't know, Mark's putting together a Great Lakes Tech Flex demo day in Michigan, and it's focused not just on Michigan State, but the Great Lakes area overall. They will have at least 19 technologies that will be demonstrated, and with more coming. So he did drop the link to register for that. So check out that if you're interested to see not just what Canadian companies are doing, but other regional ones across the border are doing as well. Okay, anything Any other events that anybody is going to that they want to share for the greater of the group that is coming up, or any other demo days that you want to be aware of? I know there's an Apple demo day, I think later in August, that OMAFA is putting together. Um, Dan, is there anything at Vineland that is coming up that you wanted to share?
Yeah, as I've mentioned in a couple of meetings, we have a greenhouse demo day on the 10th of September. So there'll be uh, there's the tomato crop, and still haven't got the final decision on the cucumber crop yet. So yeah, keep an eye out for more info through the summer.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, I think that's a lot of events that are coming up, which is will be great to see. I'm hoping to get out to a couple of them this summer. That's it for our formal agenda. Is there anything that anybody has encountered, or any new technology that you've uh, put in the field the last couple of weeks that you want to share?
Ashley, sorry, we've got the Simcoe demo day as well as
Yes,
the
thank
research
you.
farm, July 21st. And then August 18th, we've got the Innovation Farms demo at Haggerty Creek.
Yes.
So those two will be going on. As for new technology, we have some techs right now working out at a large nursery in Ontario, and we are testing the Burro Grande in grass cutting in between the rows of spruce trees. So stay tuned for that. We may have some results by later on today. So the biggest thing right now is just getting nice and close to the rows, right up to the edge, and then mapping everything. It's going to be quite extensive, but we're very bullish on the results of this mower. So
Perfect. Okay, thanks for sharing. And
yeah,
I think in the next couple of weeks we're gonna have a couple people from Haggerty kind of sharing a little bit about what
yeah,
robots you're working with this summer as well.
yeah,
So stay tuned for more information about that once Chuck and I figure out the details for
yeah,
that.
no problem.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's a great reminder. Registration is open for the AgRobotics Working Group Demo Day, which is in Simcoe this year on July 21st. We already have over 100 people registered, so if you haven't registered yet, please do so. It is a free demo day and lunch is provided. So we really hope to get a good showing of growers and industry people there as well. The Innovation Farms demo day registration will be opening up shortly. So I will share with this group in the agenda once that is also open. I think that might be it for the agenda today. Anything else anybody wants to share? Okay.
I got one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, just thought I'd share with the group. I did speak at an event this week at a cannabis event. There was a show in Toronto. Just getting a feel for the industry and seeing where they're at. As most probably know, it's fallen on a little bit of a harder time. But we are starting to see a little bit of a transition to more outdoor growers. So that is going to fall in line with a little bit of our ag tech. I definitely see a need for vision systems in cannabis, 100%. Things for disease detection. It hasn't even really crossed the radar yet in that industry. So if anybody wants to connect on that, if anybody knows, that's sort of been I worked in cannabis for 4 years prior to after egg and before egg and in between egg. So now I'm back in egg, but I keep a pulse on that just to keep all the markets available. So I do see some potential coming up. Like I said, especially with data, AI, vision, and even some ag tech, some outdoor mechanical stuff.
Great. All right, thanks. One final reminder before we do close out for the day. If anybody is interested in presenting, we do have a couple of openings this month, so please reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to kind of talk about what that could look like or what you could present on as well, or if you know of some new technologies or growers that want to present as well. I'm happy to reach out to those people as well. So definitely open to new ideas for speakers. So if you have any ideas, please reach out to me directly as well. You have the working group email because it sends out the agenda there. But other than that, we'll close out for today. Everybody have a great weekend, and then we will meet again next Friday. Thanks.
Thank you.